Hey guys, Saturday, October 19th, 2024. I couldn't help it. I just couldn't help it. I had to look at Bitcoin chart and start looking into it. So I'm going to be covering market profile, simple glance, and midpoint chart, and then work on some analysis tonight and tomorrow, and then show you what I'm seeing. But we'll start off with some of the charts I got here. So without any further delay, let's look at market profile. So far in the monthly, we're above value, value area high. And that's a 5270. And with 70, you can see there's like a bull flag, and it looks like it wants to break above. There's nothing above here, guys. There's nothing up here. This is all open air. I'm using a 10-year monthly chart, and you can see that the trend is to the upside. The weekly, we're using 5 years worth of data. We got a value area high of, you can say 69, 270. And if it breaks above that, I'm going to show you do a trend line. Obviously, it's going to test 74,415. So that's pretty much your first target. Once you close above there, skies is the limit. Until you start putting some Gann stuff, and then that's where things, you can start seeing some levels, but I don't got any Gann stuff here. That volume looks pretty good. Don't mind this anchored VWAP. This is from the nat gas that I use. Let's go to the daily before we even go into the simple glance chart. On the daily is interesting. There's a lot of value area highs here. As you can see, we have one at 73.54, and we have one right here around 71.93. And we're just kind of chopping around here. But like I said, do a trend line, and you'll start noticing some, that it's having a tough time, kind of like making lower highs and lower lows. Here it kind of changed, pull back, and now it's a matter of breaking that trend line and then going up here and testing the high, and then see what happens there. Looking at our simple glance chart, on all the time frames, you are above the cloud. So in the short time frame, you're bullish. On the mid time frame, you're bullish. And on the big picture, which is the monthly, you're bullish. The MACD is a little negative, but the trend is still up. Linear regression channels are pointing higher. The weekly is kind of sideways. On the daily, it's pretty much straight up. As you can see, our pivots, this is the only thing that's negative, but on the weekly is positive, and on the daily, it looks like it wants to go positive, but kind of hovering around the zero line. On the weekly, you notice that we are kissing the value area high, that's where we're at right now, like 69-ish. And the MACD is positive, so that's good. You're above pretty much all the moving averages. On the weekly, I'm assuming you're above on the monthly. And nothing really is negative on the weekly. This is the only thing that, we need to break up. We need to close above the value area high on the weekly. On the daily, we are chopping around, but above all the moving averages. The cloud looks perfect. Linear regression channels pointing higher. We do have a value area high here of it's pretty much 70,000. And then from there, you have a pivot, a Woody's pivot, which is 71,930. Obviously, the goal is to get to at least that 74. So we're going to break out. I'm sure we're going to be probably kissing this linear regression channel on the top side and testing 74-ish. It's just kind of quiet right here, but we want to start seeing some momentum going there. Let's look at our midpoint chart. And you can see on the yearly chart, the yearly pivot, we are above the purple, and there's nothing above here. So it's open sky. This is the big level we want to test. Mobo bands are positive. Stokes are unwinding on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, using monthly pivots. These are targets that I have, 70, 70. And then this one right here, which is 74, you can say 357. pretty much testing the high right here. And that's for this whole month. These are the big targets, the big pictures. So we could get here, boom, retrace, but then if we break through higher, this is your final target, which you're going to be kissing the high. And you can see that the mobiles are positive. Stokes are, grinding higher. So that's bullish. You're above the 50 moving average. Moving average. On the 4 hour, we're chopping around the purple pivot. So this is the 4 hour chart with weekly pivots. And you can see that we have made a high here of, you can say 69,255. For next week, we need to stay above 65,92.4. So there's a pullback. This could be a nice area, or maybe here where it should find support and then try to retest this. So that's for the whole week. This is worst case scenario, a little pullback, a little, bear trap, and then push higher. So your target would be 70.90, 900, all the way to 72.56.9. So those are your big targets to the upside for this week coming up. Mobiles are a little above the zero line, but kind of in chop fest here. I would like to see it break out like this and see something like that, and that's gonna bring me more conviction that it wants to break and test 74. You can see the Stokes are grinding higher. And lastly, on the hourly chart, you can see that this is the line in the sand for Monday. Since this is futures, Bitcoin future, you want to keep an eye on 68,258. You can see that is on the US session, we exploded higher. You're above the 200 moving average. Right in the overnight, kind of got choppy, pulled back. You're above the VWAP. But, in the noise, unless you close below 68,258, and mobiles are here. So, yeah, it's still looking good. But if we were to push higher, targets to the upside would be 72.64 for the US session on Monday. So maybe a pullback, find some support, the overnight, and then push here. And that all depends, because this is futures. Bitcoin is still trading right now as we speak. I don't know where it's at. I haven't looked at Trading View, but you never know. Maybe it, spikes up today, tonight, or tomorrow, and the futures are going to have to catch up. So that all depends on that too. It's a whole different market. So I'm going to be looking at cycles tomorrow, do a video on that, looking at the commitments of traders report, looking at seasonality, and maybe throw in a little bit of Gann here and there. Definitely the Gann grid, because we don't have anything here above 74. So I would like to see what key levels, once we pass 74, what big levels and big targets we will be seeing into the future. I'm going to sign out. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on Bitcoin.